Today we are going to look at whole thing about worrying, our tendency to worry. So this is also extremely interesting, and I hope you will find it useful and you will implement it in your life. That is the most important thing. So this is a part of the power of personal achievement, which is a session, a series of 3-day program of Brian Tracy. I have accepted content from there. So the first thing is that worry is like you are having a negative kind of imagination. So remember that worry is also imagination. Okay. Anything that you think positively, if you're thinking of your dreams, is also imagination. But worry is negative imagination. So it is what we are doing here is that we are thinking about things that we don't want to happen. Right? When you're worrying, you're actually thinking of things you don't want to happen, and in the process, you are causing an enormous amount of stress and distress to yourself. Remember that worry creates fear. Okay. And this fear is like it's a fantasized experience appearing real. See, it's remember that this entire worry thing is just in our mind. Okay. But it is a whole fantasy that we are playing it in our mind, but it appears very real. And worry is a sustained form of fear. It's like, your fear going on and on and on is worry. And it is one of the reasons that worry is caused is because we don't take a decision. Indecision is a fundamental cause for worry. So the only sustained solution for worry is to take a decisive action. So the moment you start taking action, we will look at this in more detail slightly later. But the moment you start taking decisive action, you will find that worry starts coming down. So what is it that we worry about? This is very, very interesting and important. Please carefully look at it because it will be very, very eye-opening for you. What do we worry about? So this is a study that has been done of what people worry about. So 40% of people's worries are about things that have never happened. Okay, in their life it has never happened, but they are worrying about it. 40% of the worries are like that. 30% of the worries are about things in the past. That means things have already happened and you're worrying about it today, and about which there is nothing that you can do about it. So 30% of the worries are like that. Now, if you organize the worries in a different way, 12% of the worries are about health. Okay. That is actually, we keep worrying about so many extreme things about our health, and it is absolutely unnecessary worries. 12% of our worries are like that. 10% are petty worries. That means like completely useless things we worry about. 10%. Now, watch this carefully. Just 8% of all worry is about anything that is relevant to our life in any meaningful way. That means 8% of the worries are about anything substantial. Even out of that 8%, only 4% is in our control. The other 4% is out of our control. In other words, 96% of everything that we are worrying about is a waste of emotion. Please understand the scale of what we are doing. 96% of everything that we worry about is completely either nothing you can do about it or it doesn't exist. It's like, you're just imagining things. 96% is like that. Okay. So it is a complete waste of emotion. Please understand this very clearly. So this is a very nice story of a businessman who never got worried. So there was this businessman who nobody ever saw him worried. At any point in time, nobody saw him worried. So then people wondered, how is it that you're not worried at all? So he said this, just watch, please watch carefully. He says, I do worry, but I have allocated a worry time in my life. Every week, Saturday, 1 hour, I have allocated for worry. Okay. He actually was implementing this. Okay. Every Saturday, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock was worry time. So what he did was this, that if there is any problem that he is facing, if I'm getting worried about anything, he writes it on a piece of paper and puts it into a box and forgets about it. Okay, because he will worry about it during worry time. Okay, and on Saturday, 9 o'clock, he will open the box and go through all those papers. Whatever worrying problems were there, he will go through them. Now, the interesting thing is that he says, I usually find that 80 to 90% of what I've put in that box have already disappeared. The problem is over because it is already sorted out. So you just think of it. Most things we worry about is so irrelevant. Okay. Even if you wait for a short period of time, these things will disappear, but we keep worrying about it, right? So this is a beautiful perspective. It is a beautiful thing. If you want to, if you are a worrying kind, this is something that you may like to implement in your own life. Just think of whether you want to implement this. It's such a simple and beautiful thing. Have a worry time once a week, 1 hour worry time every week. All your worrying you just do in that 1 hour worry time. Rest of the time, do something productive. Okay. So let's look at certain things about how to eliminate this worrying thing. So one thought is live one day at a time. What do we mean by live one day at a time? Just for today. We are not talking of forever. So we are not talking of tomorrow. We are not talking of day after tomorrow, next year, next month. No. Just for today. You decide that I'm going to stay calm. Okay. You decide that I'm not going to I'm not going to think about things that will get me upset. Not for every day. Only today you're going to do that. This is a very, very, if you really get it, this is a very powerful strategy because you're not planning to stop worrying for the rest of your life. You're only deciding to stop worrying only today. Okay. So just for today, you're deciding that you're going to stay calm and you will not think of things that will get you upset. Have you noticed that if you get really busy in your life, you forget to worry? Have you noticed this? Please look at your own life, and you will find that the days that you are really busy, there is no time for even worrying. You'll forget about worrying. So the key is, can we get really busy with doing things that really matter to us? That's the point. Second, get the facts. See, most of the time we are worrying about things because we do not even have the facts with us. We don't have all the information, we start worrying about it. We could take example of even COVID or, vaccination or anything. We keep worrying about. We don't have the facts. We have either half fact or we have partial facts. And with that partial facts, we are worrying. So therefore, ask questions until you get a clear idea. You could ask questions like, what exactly has happened? Okay. Or what is the situation? What is going on? Please apply yourself, ask the right questions and get the right answers for whatever you're worrying about. If you do this, you will often find that there is actually nothing to worry about. In most cases, all your worries will just disappear. Another interesting thing is that, we have looked at it earlier. I'll remind again right now, there is this law of substitution, which is that our mind at one time can hold only one thought. It cannot hold multiple thoughts. So right now, if you are going through a worrying thought, the moment you go through a whole analysis and asking questions, and what is it that I'm worrying about? It is not possible to keep worrying and asking questions at the same time. When you're actively asking questions and getting more information, it is not possible to be worried simply because the mind can keep only one thought at one time, right? So look at what we are looking at is strategies to get out of this whole worrying thing. Another fantastic thing is using what what Brian Tracy calls the worry buster technique. So what is the worry buster technique? This actually, if you are what you call a chronic worrier, then this can change your life in a very significant way. So what is the worry buster technique? Let's look at it. First of all, define your worry situation. What is it that you're worried about? Define it. How do you define it? You define it clearly and do it in writing. That means put it down on a paper. Put pen and paper together and write down what is it that you're worrying about. Example, it could be a financial problem. If you have a financial problem, see, I have a financial problem is a very vague statement. And if you're worrying about I have a financial problem very vaguely, then you're in for trouble. How do you do that? Write down, I need X amount of money by so and so date. I need so many, whatever, tens of thousands or so many lakhs or whatever that amount is by this date. Write it down. Okay. And right now I have only this much money in my hand. When you put down things clearly, you can also start thinking in a completely different way. Okay. Most of our times, we just have a vague idea about what we are worrying about. It's very vague most of the time. And the moment you start putting down things on paper, you will find that 50% of your worries will get resolved. Okay, it's only another 50% that you have to think about. Step number one was the writing down clearly and with all dates, with numbers. Please put it down. Number one. Step number two, the worry buster technique. Step number two, determine the worst possible outcome of the problem. Suppose whatever is your worry situation, look at what is the worst thing that can happen. Really imagine the worst thing that can happen. Okay. And have a careful look at this. Okay. Okay. This is the worst possible thing that can happen. Once you see this clearly, take a resolution to accept that worst possible outcome if it happens. See, right now it has not even happened. You're imagining it is going to happen. Right now, you take a decision that if that worst situation happens, I'm going to just accept it. Okay. Take that inner decision. The moment you take, you clearly look at it. Okay, this is the worst that can happen. And if this happens, I'm going to accept it. Now, here is, see, basically, most of the time your stress is because you are resisting a negative situation. The moment you remove this resistance by saying that you're accepting, okay, if it happens, what? We will see. I will handle it. I'm not going to worry about it now. The moment you accept it, that whatever worst happens, we will manage it. The resistance to it is gone. And the moment the resistance to a negative situation is gone, immediately stress will drop. Okay. And the mind will start to calm down. It is like, you have a balloon. Okay. And suddenly the air in that balloon just going out. Okay. And the balloons, that whole big blown up thing will no longer exist. Right. Now, this is step number 3. First, what did we do? We wrote it down clearly. Second, we said, you look at what is the worst possible outcome. Third, you are mentally saying that, look, if this worst situation happens, I am going to accept it. And third, the last step is begin to immediately improve upon that worst situation. That means you're already today itself, you start planning that if that worst situation comes, what are you going to do? Start taking corrective action, right? This is in some of these management theories, they call it the mini max regret analysis. Okay, that is minimize the maximum possible regret. See, if that worst situation happens, you're going to have the maximum regret. Look at how to minimize it right now itself. If you're getting this, if you're understanding this, and if you decide to apply it, it can work wonders. I will give you a very, very powerful example just now. Okay, but before that, see, the moment you face the thing on the face, see, most of it is vaguely in our head. The moment you look at it straight, the worry situation may just not happen at all because you're facing it directly. You're directly taking it head on. Now, I want you to look at that green box. Fantastic. Okay. This is the statement of somebody. We will look at who that somebody is. Find out what's the worst possible thing that can happen, right? We said that find out the worst possible outcome. Find out what is the worst possible thing that can happen. And then make darn sure that it does not happen. You just look at it. You have already looked at what is the worst that can happen. And whoever this person is, he said, make sure, that means make darn sure. That means you are whatever it takes to ensure that it does not happen at all. Who said this? This is a person named J. Paul Getty. Who's this? He is an American-born British petrol industrialist. Interestingly, in 1966, the Guinness Book of World Record recognized him as the world's richest private citizen. Okay? This is the person who said it. See, please understand that all people who are successful have a certain kind of mindset, and that is why they get where they reach. This J. Paul Getty, this is the statement he's made. Find out what is the worst possible thing that can happen, and then make darn sure that it does not happen. Then your problem is solved, right? You're working towards the solution, right? Why is worrying counterproductive? I want you to look at this carefully because we have looked at it earlier in the context of mental laws. Look at this carefully. Worry is a form of negative goal setting. We've looked at positive goal setting. We keep saying, no, have your dreams, set goals, make your plan and all that. When you're worrying, you're actually setting negative goals. Okay. You are actually setting a goal for something you definitely do not want to happen. Just think of it. When you are worrying, you're actually setting a goal. You're setting that, oh, as if you something you don't want to happen, but you're thinking about it. I want, you're repeatedly playing it in your mind. What happens because of this? We are activating the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, and the law of correspondence. As we have seen earlier, all these laws, all these mental laws, they are neutral. And therefore, it will work on anything negative as well as it will work on anything that is positive. Remember that when you set these kind of negative goals for yourself, they will work with a devastating negative effect. Please understand this clearly. One of the worst thing you can do to yourself is actually invite something that you do not want. If you can clearly understand that the law of cause and effect is at work, the law of attraction is at work, you are actually attracting something that you do not want. By worrying, we are setting up a force field around us to attract this unwanted thing into our life. If you can see this clearly enough, this alone is a very, very strong reason to just stop worrying and switch to something positive. Okay, please get this clearly. Worry is a negative form of goal setting, and we are actually inviting the problem in our life by worrying. Okay. Second, worry is a substantial form of fear. It is caused by indecision. As we looked at earlier, worry is basically caused by indecision. So one of the most powerful techniques, we are going to look at this, how to take decision and be decisive later in the weeks to come. But one of the most powerful techniques is being decisive in your life. Don't just let things drift. Don't just procrastinate. Be decisive. Take decisive action. Being decisive gives you so much control over your life. You just think of it. Any various situations in your life where you have taken decision, where you have looked at something and you said, oh, let me take this decision. You take a decision. The moment you take a good decision, you find that you are having control over your life. So being decisive gives you so much more control. So therefore, the only real antidote to worry is purposeful action. Okay, you take a decision and take action in a focused direction. That is the only way you can handle worry. Right. So as we said, we have looked at it earlier, we are looking at it again, the law of substitution, right? We said that our mind at a time can hold only one thought. So here is another thought for you. Get so busy working on your goals that you don't have time to worry at all. Is that possible? Can we involve ourselves with our goals so intensely that we don't have time to worry at all? If we choose to, we can make it happen. When you get busy with your goals, you are automatically also minimizing the worst possible outcome. That is one thing that starts. So because both these are happening in conjunction, that means you're so focused on your goals, there's no time to worry. Because you're working on your goals, you're also minimizing the worst possible outcome. So very soon you will stop worrying. So therefore, never be concerned about failing and never let the possibility of failing hold you back. Please carefully think over this. Most of the time we are worried, about, oh, what will happen, what will happen, what will happen. What will happen? Some failure will happen, right? Never be concerned about failing and never let the possibility of failing hold you back. Get so busy with your goals. See, just look at the simplicity of it. If we get focused with what we want, you won't have time for worrying. And one last word about worry. So, General George Patton, this his it is after his name that his Patton tanks were named. Okay, so General George Patton made the statement that fatigue makes cowards of us all. Right. So sometimes when we are physically and emotionally tired, right, at that time when you think about something, everything gets exaggerated. Some of the most worrying moments or some of the worst, things that you get worked up about is at times when you are mentally, physically or emotionally tired, right? So at these times things get exaggerated. So you get more worried, you want to give up, you get all fatalistic thoughts, as if the worst possible thing is going to happen in your life. All this will happen when you're extremely tired physically and emotionally. What should you do? One of the very, very simple things you can do is just shut down everything and go and get a good sleep. Okay? And sleep till you cannot sleep anymore. Just sleep yourself through this. And when you wake up, your worry would have evaporated. I'm sure all of us have experienced it at different points in our lives, that we are so worked up and emotionally this thing, and you'll find that anybody can irritate you at that time. Somebody will come and tell you something, will just snap at them, right? You get angry, you're irritated. Just go to sleep for a good enough time. When you wake up, everything would have evaporated, right? So this is another very simple thing you can use. So here's an exercise that all of you should do. Okay, please do it. List out your worry situations. See, your worry situations can be in different areas of life. It could be in the area of relationship, money, health, our sales industry, our business is not happening. You may be getting worried about it, right? Income is not happening. So much of expenditure, this, that, whatever. List out your worry situations, right? And for each worry situation, write down what is the worst possible thing that can happen. If that worry situation comes out true, what is the worst that can happen, right? And next step, what specific steps will you take immediately to improve that worst situation? So you're saying that this is my cause for worry and this is the worst that can happen. Right now, what specific steps can you take to improve on that worst situation, right? Write this down. And also write down what one action are you going to take immediately to just stop worrying and start living your life. Stop worrying and start living is a book written by, I forget the author. Some of you may have come across the book. So what one action are you going to take immediately to stop worrying and start living? I invite you to do this. Remember, this is another beautiful thing. The best way to internalize something is to teach it to someone. Okay. There are so many wonderful things we are discovering here. Take this as an opportunity to also share it with somebody in your family, somebody whom you know, somebody who's going through difficulties. Make a difference to their life. The best way you can internalize it is by teaching. You become what you teach. Just the way you become what you keep thinking over, you also become what you teach. Okay. So take this. This is another opportunity for you to, make it stronger inside yourself. Start sharing it with others. So this was a very short session today. Coming up next, programming your mind for success. How do you program your mind? See, we've been talking about this for a long time, that programming our mind is the fundamental thing to success. All the things we have talked about so far is a foundation that we have laid for this coming series, coming set of videos.